It's really Friday, and I've really done some sewing. Can you believe it? Welcome back to my channel, Silver Thread Sewing. I'm Diane, and this is Friday Sews. So as always, thank you for stopping by my channel, and thanks to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting the hashtag Friday Sews. It's a place where we come on Friday to talk about sewing, what we have sewn, what we're going to sew, and maybe a little about life and just whatever happens to be going on. So in respect of people's time and respect of people who are just here for sewing content, I will give you a little update on our area and the hurricane relief efforts and stuff that's ongoing. But I'll wait and put that at the end, and that way if somebody doesn't want to watch it, that's totally fine. I have had a cough, terrible, and runny nose. I think it's allergies. But I've been staying in mostly this week because, you know, if you go out coughing and sneezing and all that, people look at you like, why are you around people? So I've not been out a lot this week. I've been trying to stay home, and I don't think that it's anything contagious. I did a test and that was negative. I think it's allergies because we've just had so much water around and mold, and I've got terrible allergies to all that. Anyway, you're not here to hear about that either. So anyway, the things that I had gotten cut out, I had cut some out a while back and some other stuff then that first week when I didn't have power to sew. I'd cut out a couple shirts. So I've got several things made up this week, and I'll go real briefly through those, and I'll try to insert pictures of me wearing them. So I had made a dress. It's the It's to Stitch Celeste dress, which I've made several times. And I had mentioned to you guys in my last sewing vlog, I think, that I wanted to alter that pattern a little bit. I wanted to do long full sleeves, and I wanted to do a longer, more A-line skirt. And I had an inspiration picture, which I'll try to insert here. And then when you'll get a kick out of this, when I started getting ready to make it, I decided I would draw it out so I would kind of know what I wanted. And I draw like a 2-year-old. No offense to 2-year-olds. But I had drawn this out. And it's kind of crooked and wonky. But I wanted long sleeves, and I wanted the skirt portion just to be longer and more A-line. Now, I had a kind viewer that said, you know, be careful because you may wind up with the center of the hem being higher than the sides, or vice versa. I'm not exactly sure. So I did take that into account. But this is what I came up with. This is my yellow linen. And I don't know if it's 100% linen. I kind of want to say it's a cotton linen after I worked with it because it's not nearly wrinkly enough to be just 100% linen. But I made it like I had intended, and I did put the longer sleeves with the elastic at the bottom, and I just made the longer skirt. So it is A-line, and it is much longer. Now, I'll try to put a picture in of me wearing it. Of course, this is a very spring-looking fabric. I do kind of think that if I wore the right kind of cardigan with this, like a brown or even a wheat color, or maybe even a darker, like a pumpkin color sweater might even go with it. But just something darker and more fall appropriate. I think I might be able to wear this a time or two before it gets real cold. I don't know that I will. I may wait and save it till spring, but I'll put pictures of me wearing it, and I am happy with it. It does kind of make me look rounder around the tummy area. So I have thought about just unpicking this center front part right here where the gathered panel starts, and maybe putting a really tiny little tie from each side in the front, and just kind of keeping a loose tie in the back that might bring it in a little bit. I'm not sure if I will or not. I actually like the way it feels a lot. It's very comfortable to wear. So I have sewn up a couple of the Love Notions Rhapsody blouse, and I made them with the 3/4 length sleeves, but I have omitted the opening in the front. When I cut that pattern out, it comes up on the fold, and then you're supposed to veer off and cut that little opening. And instead of doing that, I just cut it on the fold and then rounded rounded the neckline off. And I can get that on off and on over my head just fine. So that's how I did that and didn't use, I made the bias binding out of the fabric, but I just bound the neck and didn't leave the ties. I like the ties, but I don't necessarily like the opening. It doesn't matter to me. I'd rather just have it closed. So for these two, I did them both that way. The first one I made is, and I'm pretty sure this is probably a polyester blend fabric. I think this came from a Walmart bundle, and it's crinkle, but it's this really pretty dark pumpkin color is what I would call it. Burnt orange maybe is what you would call it. And it has some little black and white prints in it. Now, when I finished the sleeves, I had top stitched the little cuff around the bottom of the sleeve, and my top stitching wasn't straight, and it showed up really bad. So I took a little piece of black twill tape and put that on the bottom of the sleeves. And then it has the rounded back and the slightly rounded front at the hem. Now, I have a pair of Largo Cargos in a kind of a dark, not this dark, but it is a pumpkin color. And I thought this would look really pretty with that fabric when I get those made. I didn't get those made yet. So my next version of the Rhapsody was made in a lightweight cotton fabric that I had gotten from Fabric Mart Fabrics way back yonder. And I think it's just so pretty. I love red and white. And this one, I put some elastic, just a little bit of elastic at the cuff, just enough to kind of keep it from being completely loose, but it's made the exact same way. And I'll try to put pictures in of these. This is a very lightweight fabric, so I'm not sure. You'd probably have to layer it up maybe with a white cardigan or a red cardigan or a denim jacket or something. I think that would be cute for fall, but it is a very lightweight fabric. And the last woven top that I've made is Simplicity 8839. And I had shown you guys this a while back. I liked the bodice part and the round neck of VB, but I like the sleeve length and the bodice length of UC. So I used VC, but with the neckline of VB. And I didn't put the ties at the cuffs on the sleeves. But I made it. I had a single gauze. And when I started making it, I realized it was extremely sheer and lightweight. So I had some white cotton, and I just cut a lining and lined the front and back bodice. Actually, I think what I did, well, I would say I interlined it, but I didn't do it that way because I wanted the lining to finish off the neck. So I think the rest of it I just sewed as one piece, but the neckline I did more like a lining. And then on this one, I just put the elastic at the bottom of the hem. So I really like this pattern, and I plan to make it again. It does have front bust darts, and they seemed really long, like really long darts, but it turned out really good. And I made a size 14 straight in this. Didn't do any changes. And so the next thing that I've been working on is the New Look 6216. And I've been making the t-shirt. I believe Carol from So Carol is the one that has made a lot of these and loves this pattern. I'm sure others do as well, but I'm pretty sure this is the one that she likes so much. And if by some miracle that you were to watch my channel and you don't watch So Carol's channel, I want you to go to her channel and give her a like and a subscribe. She is so close to 6,000 subscribers. I bet she's probably already made it by now. I watched her Friday sews this morning, and she was like 15 or something away. So if by some grand miracle you watch this channel and haven't subscribed to hers, please go and check her out because you're going to love her. And she's just one of the sweetest, brightest people around. So you won't regret watching her channel if you don't. And I decided, I've had it for ages and have never made it. It has the grown-on sleeves. It actually is what I'm wearing here now. And it has just the one seam that goes all the way down. And I love that. I have really loved making this and wearing it. The first one I made in a size 14. I thought that would be closest to my measurements, and I like my clothes loose. It was way too loose. So this is the first one I made, And as you can see, the neck it's been washed and it's not been ironed or anything. So it's been in the drawer. And it was really low under my arms. This part was really wide and it showed my bra, and it was really wide in the neck and hung off my shoulders. So the next time I decided to make it, I made it in a size 12, which was more appropriate, I thought, in sizing. But I still didn't like the fact that the neck was so wide. So I just folded out about an inch on each side of the neck and brought it in, and then I just cut a neckband. I measured it and cut a neckband. I think I did 90% of the inches, like the width, the circumference, whatever you call that. I did like 90% of that and made a neckband for it because this is a cotton jersey and it has very little stretch in it. I had gotten, I think, 3 yards of this way back and planned to make all kinds of things, you know, out of it because I like the color. But I decided to try these t-shirts. So this one, it's funny, this one makes a perfect pajama top. I have a pair of pajamas that I made in my pajama making session, and look how perfectly it goes with those pajamas. My lighting is terrible, I know. I have lights on everywhere, and it's still kind of dark. But I'll put a picture, hopefully, of me wearing these. But I really, really love these shirts. And now that I've got the fit the way I like it, it's not too low. And the neck is perfect. And I even like the way I top stitched this down with just the multiple stitch zigzag. I don't know what you call that. But I really like the way it turned out. And so I've cut out another one. I had this really pretty striped fabric. This came from Fabric Mart probably a year or two ago, and it's striped. And I really liked it a lot. So I have already got another one of these t-shirts cut out in this striped fabric. And I have some more fabric that I'll show you in just a second that came in. I had gotten it for $3.96 a yard. And so I got 3 different pieces, but I only got 2 yards of each because I don't want to have a lot of leftovers. I made 3 of the Love Notions chorus tops. I only had one other piece of rayon knit, and it was this really pretty red. And I'm just a sucker for red of any kind. This is a little more, I guess, a brick red, maybe. I don't know. It's not real bright. But I thought for fall, this would be beautiful. You could wear it with a black pair of pants, black skirt. You know, it would go with most anything. I feel like red's kind of a neutral. It'll go with anything. But the way I do mine, I just sew the back facing down. I top stitch it down. I did it with a stretch zigzag stitch. But I really like that method. In that way, the facing in the back doesn't cause me any trouble. But I really like this style. It goes together well. This is the first times that I've ever made long sleeves on them. And the sleeves are very, very narrow toward the wrist. But I have very small wrists, so it worked out just fine. But I made the red one. Now, these 2 were made in a cotton jersey, a light blue. And as you can tell, the cowl, and I've got a string right here. As you can see, the cowl part is not nearly as drapey. But that doesn't bother me. I don't mind it at all. I've got a white one that's like that. I just love the cotton jersey. I like that they're a little more substantial. They don't stretch as much. But I really like wearing them. They don't make you sweat. They don't make you feel hot. And I just love it. So I made a light blue one, again, with long sleeves. And a mint green one is the same fabric, cotton. It's cotton lycra, cotton something, knit. And it's wrinkled too. But I just love them. So I have a few plans, and I have 2 things cut out that I'll show you real quick. I know we're getting up in time, and I don't want to take a lot of your time. So my dear friend Cynthia from Mountain Accent Sewing, the first time that we had a meetup, she gave me this beautiful Beyond the Pink Door, and I guess it's like a French terry or a sweatshirt knit. It feels wonderful. You just want to rub it. It's so soft and it's so pretty. And there's 2.5 yards of it, and it's almost 60 inches wide. So it has the the matching ribbing. And it is just gorgeous fabric. And so I've been afraid to cut it. And I still haven't cut it, but I'm going to make probably just a sweatshirt. I'm not sure. I thought about making a hoodie, but I don't really wear hoodies as much as I do just sweatshirts. So I'm thinking I'll just do a plain, nice, loose fitting sweatshirt, and I will wear it all the time. So Fabric Mart they're having a lot of really good sales, and they had their knit fabrics on sale for $3.96 a yard. It may still be on sale. I'm not sure. I know they had this first one, some of it left. It's this pink polka dot, and I got 2.5 yards of this, and it's just a cotton knit. It's about like the ones that I made the choruses out of. So I got this one. And they had, I'm usually all about florals, but for some reason I've been all about stripes lately. I don't know. I'm going through a phase, I guess. But they had this one, and it's just red and blue. I got 2 yards of it. And it's a little lighter weight than the polka dot one. It's got great stretch both ways. So I guess it's a 4-way stretch. And I just love the colors. And it's already been washed. And then they had this one. And it's also a red and blue, but it's a different blue. It's kind of that robin egg blue. And it's just like the other one. It's got really good stretch both ways. And it's just so soft. So I'm going to make probably long sleeve shirts, or I may even make short sleeve t-shirts, because like I just said, I wear those all winter under cardigans and under sweatshirts and jackets and things. So I wear my t-shirts. I wear most all my clothes year round. I don't really have a spring, summer, fall, winter wardrobe. I just wear my clothes whenever I take an ocean usually. So my friend Alan had went to a thrift store a couple weeks ago, and he'd come up to visit us last week. And he said, I know these are really a larger size than you would wear, but he said they were $2 a piece at a thrift store he had gone to. So he brought me 2 pink and 2 blue, and I'm going to show you each one. So this is the blue, and this is the pink, and they are beautiful sweatshirt or t-shirts. Now they are long enough till I could wear them as a nightgown, but I think one reason that they might have been in the thrift store, they have a really small neck. It's like so tight, and it feels like it would really be binding. Even though this is a large size shirt, the necklines on all of them are really small, but they have got so much fabric. I mean to tell you, they are long. I hope you can see that. They're long as cold weather. And I thought, with this much fabric, I could either remake a couple shirts, or I could make like a shirt and pair of pajama shorts for the summer. So I have 4 of these, 2 of the blue and 2 of the pink. And I'm very happy with them. So thanks, Alan. And finally, I have 2 plans that I would like to get made before I start on anything else, because when I have a lot of projects cut out, it's comforting in one way to know that I've got something ready to sew anytime I get a few minutes to come down and sew. But it's kind of stressful too, because it's like once you get it cut out and you put it in that project bag and it goes in my little box, it's like you kind of lose your motivation sometimes. So I've got 2 things real quick to show you. So I had fabric that had come from somewhere. I don't remember where I got this from, either Fabric Mart, maybe Cali Fabrics maybe, I don't know, but it's 2 kind of heavier weight knit. I think they're polyester knit of some sort. They have a lot of recovery, and they're kind of the weight of a ponte, but they feel softer like a cotton, but I know they're not because they don't feel like the cotton jerseys. But I had a lighter pink and a darker pink in the same fabric, and I've still got quite a bit of them left. So I decided the way that fabric matches each other, I had it in my head the whole time. I wanted to make the Love Notions Tidal dress. Now I believe I have cut that out with the long sleeves, and I I drew another one of my kindergarten pictures. I traced out the picture off the front of the Love Notions pattern for this, and I colored it 2 different ways to decide which way I wanted to make it. And the first one I did was with the dark part in the middle and the light parts on the outside, and then the light part in the middle and the dark part on the outside. So I was trying to decide, and so I hope to get this made this week. I really want to get that and the Largo Cargos made before I lose interest completely. And then I had this pumpkin colored cotton denim. I hope that's showing up. I don't know why my lights are so weak today, or if it's just my eyes. But it's a really pretty pumpkin color. And I had enough to cut out the Largo Cargos. And also I cut out a pair of Largo Cargo shorts. Now I probably won't make the shorts right now. That would be more of a spring probably and summer pair. But this orange color, this pumpkin-y color, I think would look really good at either season. So that is my plans. I'm going to be real brief on the life part. I've updated you guys a couple times, but people have still been asking. You know, things here in the mountains of North Carolina are still difficult for many people. The majority of people have got power now. If they had a house left, they have power back, most people. But there's a whole area in like Banner Elk and where I grew up when I was a kid in Old Beach Mountain. There is a lot of people that still don't have power, and this is almost a month in. Today's October 25th, and the 27th will be a month. And they still don't have power, phone, water, some of them. Banner Elk, which is where all the ski resorts, a lot of the ski resorts are, and a lot of the housing developments and all that, gated communities and all that area, a lot of them still don't have water. I think their sewer system, like the town sewer system, was just wiped out, and they actually have the Army Corps in here trying to rebuild that infrastructure. So they are trying as best they can to maintain and to get back to some kind of living, but it's really hard. And of course, here where I live, down by the river, there's so many people that lost everything. There's another community where I showed you last time that they're still just dealing with trying to clean up and trying to repair damage to their homes, trying to salvage whatever they can out of the mud. So life for us, like I said last time, has pretty much gone back to normal, but there are still a lot of people who need help. I want to say thank you for everyone that has donated to the relief fund, the efforts, many through Samaritan's Purse and many through our church. It's just incredible at the generosity that people have shown, and I am so grateful, and I can still guarantee you that every penny of that money is going or has already gone to the people who have been impacted the most. We still have our church set up as a supply place for people to come and get supplies. We've had so many people from different areas and from my friends here on YouTube that they've come, they've brought things, they've sent donations, they have had family members that have come numerous times to bring things. And I won't go back through all the names, but you guys know who you are, and I'm just so grateful. And I did mention everyone's names last time, but I didn't get permission to mention those people, but it's just been incredible at everyone that has reached out and offered help and kindness and all that. So very, very blessed and very, very grateful. And hopefully things are going to be better. It's going to take years. The landscape of this whole area has changed. There's just whole mountainsides that are gone and trees that are gone, and the river has gotten so much wider, and there's just rocks everywhere. Pavement's gone. It's just amazing to see it now that the water has receded. And I will say it's not being nearly as cold as we're used to. So we've had some cold nights or chilly nights in the 30s. So cold if you don't have heat, definitely. But it's not being as cold, and we have not had any significant rain. I think we might have had 2 days that we had just a sprinkle of rain. So it's getting really dry now. But it scares me to think that it's going to rain because, you know, last time it rained, it really rained for days and days. But that was a one-time thing, hopefully, and we won't have that happen again, hopefully. But it is getting dry, and they've already said, you know, you can't just burn things anytime now, and people really need to be able to do that because they've got so much debris and so much stuff where they've had to take out their homes. And so I know that the state's working to get all that picked up, and they just ask people to put a certain amount of distance away from the main road, and that they'll pick that up. So it's going to be an ongoing challenge for people. And I'm just so amazed at the resilience and the determination of people. You know, we are used to winter storms. We're used to being, you know, without power for a period of time. We're used to cold temperatures and having to really work at keeping things from freezing and keeping warm and all that, stocking up on things. But we really were not prepared for the devastation of this hurricane that it had this far inland, that it had on us. So people are tough. You know, you can tell the people that have been affected the most, they have a look on their face. They just have this traumatized daze in their eyes. And it's just so heartbreaking. It truly is. But you can tell the people that have really been through the worst of it. And of course, we pray for them, and we try to offer them something warm to eat. And our church has just done a phenomenal job with all that, and with the supplies and everything that's been coordinated from other churches all over the country who have sent trucks and have sent crews of workers and are continuing to do so here a month later. And that has been such a great help and such a blessing, because when you're right in the middle of it, it's hard. You know, some people lost all their tools. They lost all their, you know, their ability to fix things themselves. So people coming in with trucks and excavators and all kinds of hand tools and materials and supplies, that has just truly been amazing. So we are so blessed. Even in the worst of times, we are still a blessed community. So I thank you all for being part of that. Thank you for watching me on my rambles of my sewing and talking fast and not giving complete details and all the things. But I try to slow down, and I tell myself, now I'm going to talk slower. And then here I am talking about a minute. So I hope that has not drove you crazy. But I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I hope that you'll be able to sew if you want to. Remember, as long as you sew, you'll never have time or money to get into any trouble. So don't ever give up on sewing.